You are now rocking with me, your favorite B, Lady T, in the place to be, and you have now entered the Tea Lounge.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
What's goody, Sipper Society? It's your girl, Lady T, back in the Tea Lounge, and today we are serving up some piping hot tea about the legendary Eddie Murphy and his hidden connections to two iconic shows that shaped black culture. So grab your cups and get ready to sip on this. Now, if you caught Eddie Murphy's appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, you might have heard him drop a little known fact about his connection to the classic TV show Good Times. Did you know that he owns the original Sugar Shack painting from the show? And not just any painting, but the real deal with Ernie Barnes, the one that he painted himself. And get this. The duplicate sold for a whopping $16 million at Christie's. Now, if you didn't know, Good Times was actually a spin-off from another dope show called Maude.
Yes.
Exactly, okay?
They didn't know what Maude was when we was going over the show earlier.
Oh, well, first off, Maude was played by B. Arthur.
Yes.
Okay, the one and only. She played Dorothy
Golden
in
Girls.
Yeah, from
Right.
Golden Girls, exactly like that. And she was the antithesis of Archie Bunker. And Maude started from Archie Bunker. But not to call it Archie Bunker child.
I know, we can't help
What is it?
it.
What?
It was
All in the
Maude,
family. All in the family.
right.
So Maude came from All in the Family, and Good Times came from Maude.
Right.
And Florida was her
Housekeeper.
Housekeeper, exactly. And James' name was Henry on that show, and he was a firefighter. So now, how come he's struggling with all these jobs in Chicago? Listen, I digress. Okay.
But I noticed that Maude's character, if you think about it now in retro, was like the first kind of like domineering matriarch that wasn't necessarily soft-spoken in her household.
Not at all. She was a feminist.
Yes.
And Maude was like, when Maude got pregnant, child, at like 47, 48 years old, and her and I forgot her husband's name on the show, but they were not having it, and she had an abortion back in whatever, the 1970s.
So they were always, what was the brother's, I say the brother's name, but the white boy's name. He was always dealing with controversial issues.
Norman Lear. You're talking about Norman Lear.
Lear,
Norman Lear
yes.
always tackled some of
But
the...
did you feel like he was also like how you have these white saviors who want to be the one to shed light in our community? Because that was what Florida Evans' role, she wanted to make sure that she wasn't the mama that didn't have no dad in the household.
Yes, because Esther Rolle made it a point to, when she started Good Times, and when she was casted for Good Times, she said, I have to have a husband.
Right.
So, and so that's where
So which
that came.
painting is by the gentleman?
It's called
painting?
Sugar Shack.
Right. So is it the main one?
It's the main one with all the dancing, with like they're in the
Okay.
club and everything like that, or some kind of juke joint back in the day.
Yes.
That's the one. That's
Okay.
the image that we're talking about. Eddie Murphy owns it.
Wow.
Yes, absolutely. I want to say, trying to remember, if I want to say he purchased it from Marvin Gaye.
Oh.
I
Did
believe so.
he actually tell that story when he was on Jimmy
Yes,
Kimmel?
he told that story
Okay,
when
well,
he was on Jimmy Kimmel.
Let's look at
Yes.
the footage from Jimmy
Okay,
Kimmel.
yes, absolutely.
Duplicate of that painting. Ernie Barnes, who painted the original, painted the duplicate, and the duplicate just sold at Christie's.
For like over $1 million.
$16 million.
$16 million.
For the duplicate.
You have the real one.
I have the real one.
Oh, boy. You better I hope the house is locked up.
And you know, I think I paid 50 grand for that picture.
Wow.
From Marvin, after Marvin Gaye passed away, I bought it from his estate. And yeah, I got.
So you're rich then?
Yeah, I got that painting.
Well, I gotta tell you, it's like a gift to all of us every time you're in something. And you also just shot Beverly Hills Cop 4, which is unbelievable.
I like that it's in the capable hands of Eddie Murphy. I really do appreciate that. Now,
So Good Times was in what, 1970?
Yes, Good Times hit the scene in 1974 and became an instant hit. I want to say 50 million people, but don't quote me on the number. But it was like something like 50 million people. The show revolved around the Evans family living in Chicago, Cabrini Green projects, and they were just trying to make ends meet and dealing with all sorts of real life struggles. But it was the cast for me. We got Esther Rolle, who was a dancer. She used to dance for Pearl Primus.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Exactly. And she was the matriarch, and her character's name was Florida Evans, right? Then there's John Amos playing the role of James Evans. He was the hard-working patriarch. We have Bernadette Stannis.
Beautiful.
Who brought the sass. She was discovered after her run for Miss Black. I want to say Miss Black or Miss Teen America or Miss Black Teen America.
I felt like Thelma was who all young teenage girls aspired to look like.
She aspired to. At one point, she didn't have a voice. And Esther Rolle stepped in when her and Bernadette had a conversation one time driving home after a shooting. She was like, I just feel like I don't have a voice. And Esther Rolle stepped in the next rehearsal and basically said, like, listen, I need my daughter to have a voice. And that's when she wasn't just someone that you would cut to and just be a pretty face.
Oh, wow.
She began to have something to say.
Wow.
Then we had comedian Jimmy Walker, who had us cracking up as J.J. Evans. And he was like a real force in the civil rights movement. Like, he hung out a lot with the Last Poets and either Huey, I want to say Huey, one of the Black Panthers, but don't quote me on that.
So did he start doing movies afterwards or beforehand?
That I can't tell you, but he was a well-known comedian. Then we have Ralph Carter as Michael Evans. They found him on the set of Raisin. I said Raven, not Raven Simone. On the set of Raisin, the musical version of Raisin in the Sun. And then we had Janet Dubois Woods.
Yes.
She played Willona Woods. Janet Dubois, she played Willona Woods. Yes.
So let me ask you, we have Rhoda and we have Willona.
Okay, what you mean to say? What you finna say?
Who's your go-to? Because
Willona.
Of course.
And let me tell you about Willona.
Because I have my scars.
Be careful what you wish for. Because I said, oh God, I want to be Willona. I didn't mean that I wanted to be, like child-free in my late 40s and well-dressed and, but that's what I asked for. But the thing about Good Times and Michael Evans, Michael Evans was Lionel on The Jeffersons, and he was one of the creators of this along with Norman Lear. One of the things that I love is that it was so relevant to the times because a lot of the Black women in that time period, they were rather than being domestic, they would go into retail sales. And that was considered a prominent job back in the day, and although she was living in the projects, she was doing, fairly well for herself. So I love that. And she was stylish and an independent neighbor. And let's not forget about Janet Jackson, little Janet Jackson, Penny, making her debut as Penny, Willona's adopted daughter. Yes.
Well, let's check out a little footage just for the folks who are living under a rock.
They got to be living under the rock in a cave in West Bubblefuck.
Just this weekend, they did, because I think it's celebrating 50 years or
30. 50 years.
So they were showing a marathon.
How does that make you feel that it's been 50 years?
Girl, well, I'm celebrating 50 this year, so that sounded about right. 74 was a beautiful year of great information coming out to the world.
You look like you're celebrating your 30th or something like that.
They say black don't crack, baby.
Yes, but it do droop and sag a little bit. Not with you.
Those that are living underneath a rock, let's give them a taste.
Absolutely. Let's cut to it.
I went night we were alone to one of those meetings where women talk about their problems. You know, all that silly talk about trying to better themselves.
One of them women's groups? Florida, I'm surprised that you're wasting your time at a crazy ladies meeting like that. What's that thing you do? Look at you sitting here bumping your gums when you ought to be in there making dinner.
James, you asked me to sit down. I think you said enough.
Well, there's one thing I ain't got no patience with is women trying to push in and take over a man's job.
James, that is not what women are after.
Don't tell me, Florida. I see it every day. They're taking the food right out of our mouth.
I think you said enough.
Hey, woman, what's wrong with you? You don't tell me when to talk. So you done been to one damn meeting, right away you flying in my face.
James, that's not what it's all about.
I'm gonna tell you, you've been driving everybody crazy running around here, now you going to them women's meetings. I'm gonna tell you something Uncle Ed used to say, and maybe he was right. There's only two places a woman belongs,
Don't
Florida.
say it, James.
Florida.
James, don't say it.
The kitchen in the bedroom, Florida. The kitchen in the bedroom.
Yes, so Eddie's chat with Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show. He revealed his plans to return to stand-up comedy. However, what really caught my attention was how he reminisced about Studio 54, and his childhood friend, Keenan Ivory Wayans. I mean, they are both from New York, right? So let's get to this clip from Jimmy Fallon.
I never wrote stuff in a notebook. I get stuff from, like, we'll be talking, and I'll say something, and they'll be like, oh, that's funny, I'm going to take it to the stage. I never, like, wrote stuff down in paper.
Really? So you don't have any when there's the Eddie Murphy Museum, we don't have any words written?
No old little thing, no little stuff. And
Nothing
no
you jotted down?
Not even the stuff, like, even those suits, like the Raw and the Delirious, the suits I had on the Raw and Delirious.
You got it.
I don't have that stuff.
You're joking me.
Because I didn't know that.
But someone does have it. They must, right?
I don't know what happened to the purple one, but the red suit was destroyed one night. We went to Keenan Ivory Wayans, the old friend of mine, I know since I was 16. And back then, if you dare him to do anything, he would do it. And one night, we were up and getting dressed to go somewhere, and he came up in the closet, he saw that suit, and he put the red leather suit on. And Keenan's like 6'4" with muscles, so the suit was busting off him. And I said, I dare you to go out with that suit on. And we went to, this is back in the day, so we went to Studio 54 and all these clubs. And remember on In Living Color, he used to do a character, Keenan did a character called Frenchie?
Yes.
That started from going to the club one night, and he was Frenchie one night from 10 to 6 in the morning and didn't come out of character.
And he used to wear like a red leather suit, Frenchie.
Yeah, it was exactly that, and at the end of the night, the suit was destroyed.
Oh my gosh!
And girls would call the house and be like, "It's like he met." It was like, "Hey, is Frenchie there?" And that girl you met is on the phone. He was like, "I can't go out with her. She met me as Frenchie, and she wants to go out with me."
Frenchie.
So Keenan was chilling with Eddie Murphy one night, right? Listen, and he peeped into Eddie's closet, saw his red leather Delirious outfit, and Eddie dared him to wear that out that night, and Keenan didn't back down. Now, according to Keenan, he throws on a suit, a Soul Glow wig, a fake gold chain with the letter F on it that somebody with them was wearing, and some gazelles. And he decides that he's going to be some country bumpkin named Frenchie from West, Bubblefuck, right? Now, the crazy part is Keenan stuffs his pants with a sausage, okay, that he got out of the refrigerator, giving him this like
bulge,
a bulge and an
yes.
impressive silhouette, if you will. So they head out to Studio 54. They're cutting up on the dance floor, and according to Keenan, he's stomping and hollering, "The roof! The roof! The roof is on fire!" You know, and he used to do that in the show. And guess who they run into?
Who?
Yeah, Rick James.
Rick James, bitch.
I was gonna say that. You beat me to it. Rick James. Okay, I can't tell y'all that Eddie introduced. Now, I'm sorry, I can tell y'all that Eddie introduces Keenan as Frenchie to Rick James. And Keenan then goes ahead and snatches his drink, Rick's drink, and downs it. But now, Rick's crazy ass, he likes it. He's like, dude, I like this. I dig this dude. Next thing you know, Keenan is chilling with Rick James in a limo with the Mary Jane girl.
Smoking on Mary Jane.
Probably smoking on Mary Jane, all right? But the wild part is Keenan stayed in character the whole night and not breaking once. And get this, Eddie hid Keenan's spare clothes because Keenan had bought some spare clothes. He hid the spare clothes back at the house, leaving him stuck, like committed to that crazy outfit.
I want to see what that looks like.
What he might have looked like that night. Okay,
Frenchie.
Right, because this birthed the character Frenchie.
Okay.
So yeah, let's roll that clip with Keenan Ivory Wayans as Frenchie.
I don't think you understand. We're alcoholics. I was once up to 2 bottles of J&B a day. I don't know how long I can stay dry.
Hey, man, that ain't nothing. I was up to 3.5 bottles of GCB light a day. I switched over to Afro Sheen, and I'm never dry.
Buddy, you just don't get it. I drank myself out of a job, a marriage, and a home.
Hey, man, well, don't feel bad. My mama told me when I was 6, I drank out the toilet.
Frenchie, perhaps you could help us with our role playing.
All right.
Janice. Janice.
Come on, Jenny. Okay. You got something else.
Now, Janice, Frenchie is alcohol. Now explain to him the way you feel.
All right. I admit it. I'm addicted to you, to your smell, the way you intoxicate me. The thought that I can't go a single day without you just gives me the shakes.
Well, baby, if all that happens just looking at me, wait till I stick you some tongue. Come here.
Why don't you just tell us how alcohol has affected your life?
What you talking about, man? I don't need no alcohol to get no women. All I need is a Rick James 8-track, bottle of Muscat, and $22.
Man, what can a girl get for $22?
Nothing, but I can get the boot off my car. What do you think?
Hey, you know something? If this guy can get women without drinking, there's hope for us all. You gonna listen?
Hey, now that sounds like a party to me. Come on, y'all. Kick it off on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get water, party all the time, party all the time.
So that night, right, he couldn't break character because Eddie left the suit back at the house. And so he couldn't break character even if he wanted to. And good thing that happened because he was able to create moments like we just watched.
Okay,
right?
so bring it together.
Okay, so now let's talk about the significance of
Please.
both.
Okay.
Good Times and In Living Color
Okay.
in the Black culture. These shows paved the way for Black representation on television, tackling real issues, showcasing Black talent in a way that had never been seen before. Good Times gave us the Evans family, a working class Black family struggling to make ends meet in the projects of Chicago. It tackled topics like poverty, racism, and social injustice, all while making us laugh and cry. Damn, damn, damn! And then we have In Living Color, the sketch comedy show that launched the careers of some of the biggest names in Hollywood, including writer on the show, Larry Wilmore, creator of The Bernie Mac Show, Kim Coles, who went on to do In Living Single. I mean, not In Living Single, child, just plain old Living Single.
No, she wrote on her brother's show, the Wayans. She wrote on the Wayans brothers.
She
and
did?
She wrote on My Wife and Kids. She was a writer.
Kim Coles wrote on both of those?
Oh, not Kim Coles. I'm sorry. I thought you meant Kim Williams, the sister of
Oh,
Damon Wayans.
I didn't even know that either.
Right, because she ended up being writer on other shows.
So
on
Kim
Still
wrote
That
on
Family.
both, which ones
She wrote
now?
on the Wayans brothers.
Okay.
Because that's another of the Wayans
Right,
family. And then she wrote on My Wife and Kids. But Kim Coles ended up directing. No, Kim Coles is still a comedian. But I thought about Kim Fields, who ended up directing. So I'm going all over the place.
No, it's okay, because Kim Fields still plays into it. Because
right.
Kim Fields came on, she was on Good Times before.
Right, but just you talking, going back to In Living Color, how many people were able to launch their careers from this show, like Jamie Foxx.
Yes.
You know, who went into being a movie actor and won an Oscar for Ray.
Yes.
You know,
and then the entire Wayans family.
Right.
With Damon Wayans, with Marlon Wayans, with, oh my Lord, Sean James.
But the oh, sharing some tea?
I don't know who Sean James is. Sean Wayans, okay? Okay, so just the entire Wayans family.
Did you know that they grew up as Jehovah's Witnesses?
They grew up as Jehovah's Witnesses? That's like Prince.
Their parents are Jehovah's Witnesses. They didn't pick it up, but they grew up in a Jehovah's Witness household.
I know that I went to, what's his name? Sean Wayans went to school. Like, he was like he graduated when I think I came into my high school.
And then Michael, the gentleman who played Michael Evans,
yes.
you know, he's big in Harlem because he's on the Adelco Awards board. He's still bringing black representation out by being a part of black theater and making sure that, you know, he's among those that still shout out black actors and black theater here in New York. So very much influential in Harlem. I know Bernadette Peters definitely does show up.
You said Bernadette Peters.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know,
we shout out to Bernadette. That's the Broadway legend, but you meant Bernadette Stannis. Yes,
our Bernadette. But I think what happens is when you see that people take an opportunity, no matter where it came from. So Norman Lear set these opportunities up, which gave Keenan Ivory the opportunity to know that he can tell his stories and be a director and be a producer and be an actor and actually go through what do they call it when your family
nepotism?
Nepotism. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Why not? Because now how many of the brothers, I think one of Sean's daughter is a comedian now, and then I remember Marlon, he actually did a tour, not Marlon, the youngest one, Sean, he did a tour where he brought like 5 and 6 different comedians globally on and then brought that to Netflix. So it was able to start somewhere but lead to all these other now different opportunities.
Exactly, because even with Good Times, Chip Fields, Kim Fields' mom, who you mentioned, because there was 2 Kims on Living Single, went on, she's from Lincoln Projects in Harlem. I believe 3rd floor, I forgot which building, but it doesn't matter, because, you know. But it was unapologetically black. That's the thing that we loved about In Living Color. And unafraid to push boundaries, giving a platform to voices that have been marginalized for far too long, and showcasing hip-hop in a primetime slot. Just to think that not too long ago, the fact that hip-hop was being showcased in a primetime slot was like an anomaly.
Right. And it gave room to dancers. It gave room to choreographers.
Yes.
Because Rosie Perez was a choreographer, and then she brought out Big Les, J-Lo, Josie. You know, these were women. I actually danced with some of these women at the Underground Network on Wednesdays at the Sound Factory bar. So yeah.
I didn't know.
And then from that opportunity, those dancers got to dance with Janet, got to dance with Mariah.
Yes, because I know that you used to dance with Asada.
Okay.
And oh my gosh, what's her name? Kim. There was another Kim. Oh my gosh, what's her name? Kim something.
We talking about back on the grind days, MTV.
Right.
Yes.
We're talking about, you know, what's the name of the it starts with a D. 18th Street.
Don't give me the Nels. No,
not
that's
Nels.
14th Street.
It starts with a D. 18th Street. Oh my God, what is the place that we used to go?
We telling our age now.
Don't talk.
Okay. Well,
I'm talking about I'm talking about wearing one thing there and then changing in and putting the baby powder on the floor with. Oh my God. can't believe.
But anyway,
yes,
you know.
So,
but I also love the fact that you brought up that artist.
Demerara, sorry.
Yes, okay. Tell it on yourself.
It was going to bother me.
Yes.
Demerara, yes.
I do remember. But we also not only talked about representation as far as acting and telling our stories, but going back to Brother Barnes and the artwork that was being shown.
Ernie Barnes was an incredible artist. His iconic painting graced the walls of the Evans family apartment and Good Times in Total. His work captured the beauty and the resilience of Black life in America, including Ruby. What's the young lady's name who integrated the schools?
Oh, why are you going to put me on spot with a history lesson?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Homegirl Ruby.
Yeah.
Y'all know who she is. He had that famous painting of her, okay? And his legacy is, it will live on through the timeless art. So we appreciate him. He was a football player, a pro football player, and I think that's where they got the character Keith from, that Thelma married.
Okay.
So here's to Eddie Murphy, Good Times, and In Living Color, and all the trailblazers who has continued to inspire us to this day.
Wait, before you tell the folks to keep sipping, tell them where they can find you. We can't forget that.
You can find me on YouTube at the Tea Lounge. You can find me at Tea Lounge NYC on Twitter, as well as TikTok, as well as Instagram. And I thank you all so much, okay? I'm going to need you guys to keep sipping, Sipper Society, and I'll catch you next time in the Tea Lounge. Peace out.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Hey, boss. Okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You sure?
I said I'm fine.
Since I was little, it was only like me and my parents. You think you created family out of characters? Yeah, of course. Would it take that and make it into a song?
Put me to bed, see you in the morning. With the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it. In my head, in my head, in my head. Where you at, where you at on the way? Yeah. In my head, in my head, in my head.
Hey, son.
Hey, Pop.
Talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Give up on my way.